Corporate business expansions are a pain, especially with all the paperwork for accounts and tax needs. That is, unless you have a chartered professional accountant by your side like Kadir Khan.
I'm here to serve you all your corporate, personal, accounts and tax needs.
He will guide you through bank loans, feasibility reports, business plans, and tackle a variety of CRA audits. Call Kadir Khan at 647-773-7550.
Hi, I'm Brian Crombie, and we're going to be talking on the Brian Crombie Show. We're going to be talking about politics, arts, business, and social issues on the Brian Crombie Show on Canada One TV. Good evening and welcome to the Brian Crombie Show on Canada One TV. I have the opportunity every week of bringing you fascinating guests, and one of the most interesting people that I've had the pleasure of meeting over the course of the last bunch of years in the Toronto area is Nikki Clarke. Nikki Clarke is a community activist. She was a politician, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. She's running a center in the beaches now. She's the immediate past president of something called the Black History Month something or other. And I thought that it would be really interesting to have Nikki on the show. Number one, because we've just gone through Black History Month and tell us a little bit about Black History Month. But then also, I think you've got a fascinating story because you're also a TV host and you were kind enough to have me on your show.
Awesome.
And you've done a great job of introducing a lot of interesting people to the world. And I'd like to know about why you're doing that. So Nikki Clarke, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, Brian. I'm really so pleased to be here. It's an honor. And it's always great to connect with you. And thank you for this chance. So yes.
So tell us about Black History Month.
Absolutely.
So what is it's the Ontario Black History Society that you're the president, or we're the president of.
Yes.
And you told me that you had in the last month an experience of going across in Ontario, including the penitentiary, and doing speeches about Black History Month?
Absolutely, yes. So the Ontario Black History Society, I'll just give you a little background. I'm the immediate past president. The current president is Natasha Henry, fantastic lady doing so many wonderful things. But the OBHS was started in 1978, and it was born of the vision to preserve, protect, and promote Black history in Canada. So what we do as volunteers is we go into the community, we speak at schools, we go to organizations, and we talk about what is relevant in the community, and also about all the people who paved the way for us to enjoy, the many wonderful benefits of Black history. So as the passion that I have of going out and meeting people and educating people is sharing all the wonderful achievements. And I've gone to high schools, I've gone to law firms, and the recent visit was in Gravenhurst. I was invited to the Beaver Creek Penitentiary, and I spoke to the correctional workers there and shed light on a lot of information they had no idea. One of the things I like to blow people's minds are the inventions that came from Black ingenuity. And particularly when I talk to kids, I ask them what their working knowledge of Black history is, and they say things like Martin Luther King Jr. or Rosa Parks, but they have no idea about Canadian Black history. Like Viola Desmond, they may recognize the name on the $10 bill now, but they don't know her amazing story.
So who is Viola Desmond?
Excellent question. Viola Desmond, we know graces a beautiful face on the $10 bill, but she was a very prominent Black woman from Nova Scotia. And she was in 1946 driving her car to a business meeting, and her car broke down. So to pass the time, she went into a movie theater called the Roseland Theatre in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia.
Right.
And Brian, we have to really face the facts that there was segregation in Canada.
Really?
So she was told to go to the Black-only part of the movie theater, and she moved up to the front section, which was the white-only section. And
where was the Black section? The back?
In the very back. For a better view, went to the front in the whites-only section, and she was asked to leave. She protested, and then subsequently she was dragged out and then arrested on the premise of not paying a 1-cent movie tax. So what it did was it created such an upset and uproar that we know that was just a guise for racial discrimination.
I didn't realize there was segregation in Canada. So
Yes, there
how
was.
widespread? Well, excuse me. How widespread was segregation in Canada in 1946?
It was throughout Canada.
Really?
Yes.
In movie theaters?
In movie theaters and in schools. It was pretty much the way things ran
And so
in Canada.
what happened after her arrest?
After her arrest, she led the way actually to the civil rights movement in Canada because she had such support around her, and the Black community rallied around her, and also allies from other communities saw what was happening and helped to get her name cleared. But what I always share with people is that Miss Viola Desmond was the Rosa Parks of Canada, because what she did was 8 years before Rosa Parks, who we know about her not giving up her seat
On the bus.
in the front of the bus to move to the back. Viola Desmond did that 8 years before that amazing feat of courage happened in the United States. So we really have to give homage to Viola for her courage and to really be an example of standing up for yourself, not only for one community but for all communities. And she is the first Canadian woman on Canadian currency.
Canadian currency. So I was at a fascinating seminar in Oakville, and you wouldn't have thought in Oakville, which is sort of thought as a very high-income neighborhood, but it was one of the ends of the Underground Railway.
Absolutely.
And there was quite a lot of very prominent people that came from the south of the United States, escaping segregation and whatever. In the United States that came all the way up to Oakville, and there were families in Oakville, both black and white, that were the people that were sort of the engines of the Underground Railway. And it was a fascinating description that I had no idea about.
Right. And that's what a lot of people are missing. And myself and other advocates were really trying to push for 365 of Black history, not just in February, but really more information out there, and that's what the OBHS is trying to do, is to make this information available throughout the year. So we have resources and we have people who go out and share this information. But it's true, the Underground Railroad has many points all over Canada. And we have Owen Sound. There are places in Toronto that we can actually organize walking tours. If you go through St. Lawrence Market, that was actually a place of human trafficking. Slaves were sold in the market because it was right by the water. So they would, rally them in there, and then.
Did we have slavery in Canada?
Absolutely. Yeah, we did have slavery in Canada.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, and when was slavery abolished in Canada?
It was abolished in Canada in 1834. And it's
which is around the time that William Wilberforce got it abolished in the UK. So I presume it was the same sort of.
1833 for the British Empire, and 1865 for the United States. So 1834, Emancipation Day, August 1st. And,
in Canada?
In Canada.
And what is Emancipation Day in the UK?
I'm not quite sure.
And it was a year earlier, you say?
Yes.
Why did it take a year longer in Canada? Any idea?
I believe it just had to do with a lot of the legislation. We have Lord Simcoe, who was very, he was very prominent and really pushed for the abolition of slavery. So we honor him. The Emancipation Day is actually coined Lord Simcoe Day as well, for what he did to really make this legislation pass. So Emancipation Day, August 1st, 1834. It actually now coincides with Caravana Day. A lot of people kind of mix that up, but we have to really give homage to all the people who, like I said, have paved the way for our freedom. And I also like people to recognize what they have in their midst as part of Black history. When I talk to children in schools, I ask them if they like potato chips. And you're probably thinking, why is she asking a question like that? Because it seems to be the common thing with children. And I said, well, that's That's something that was invented by George Crumb, who was an African-American chef in the late 1800s. And that kind of blows their mind, because now they realize that Black history is something that they can, it's something tangible. It's something that they can have. And I say, well, how about the hairbrush? Another Black invention. The doorknob. The elevator, the traffic lights. So I throw all this information at them, and they realize that Black history isn't just one point, but it's everybody's history.
Well, thank
it's
you very
Canadian
much for telling us about this. We're going to take a break for some messages and come back with more with you and hear a little bit about some of the other things you're involved in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Stay with us.
If you are looking for a dedicated and honest real estate agent, then meet Wasif Khan, servicing the community for years in resale and pre-construction projects. Sell your property in top dollars with TV, radio, social media, and MLS marketing. We also help with mortgages.
For all your real estate needs, contact me at 647-786-8765 or visit wasifkhan.ca.
टीम फरहान मॉर्गेज सॉल्यूशंस आपकी खिदमत में पेश 15 साल तजर्बे के हामिल, आपकी जरूरियात और मर्जी के एन मुताबिक कारोबारी, रिहायशी, तामीराती और ज़रूरी मॉर्गेज सर्विसेज। हमारा कम तरीन मॉर्गेज रेट। टीम फरहान।
At Team Farhan, we're here for all your mortgage needs.
Müşterilerimize iyi ve kaliteli hizmet vermeye özen gösteriyoruz.
ونوفر كل التسهيلات القروض المالية لكل أنواع القروض.
Here at Team Farhan, we have mortgage solutions designed for you.
Team Farhan को एक दफा खिदमत का ज़रूर मौका दीजिएगा. And this is my personal promise to you, you will not be disappointed.
At Team Farhan, we have a mortgage solution designed for you.
मज़ीद मालूमात के लिए 416-569-9294 या फिर विजिट कीजिए हमारी वेबसाइट www.teamfarhan.com.
एयर विंग्स ट्रैवल एंड टूर्स नॉर्थ अमेरिका की सबसे बाएतमाद और फास्टेस्ट एयर ट्रैवल सर्विसेज। 25 साल का तजर्बा लिए लातादाद अफोर्डेबल ट्रैवल डील्स के साथ एक्सेलेंस इन कस्टमर सर्विसेज ऑन जस्ट वन फोन कॉल। ये है एयर विंग्स ट्रैवल एंड टूर्स। फॉर बुकिंग कॉल नाउ 1855-247-9464 और 905-272-2300. एयर विंग्स ट्रैवल एंड टूर्स।
Consumer Choice Award recipients and GTA's top-ranked service provider, Dixie Electronics, authorized dealer of all major companies. Shop with a peace of mind, and low prices are always guaranteed.
I promise best customer service and lowest prices in GTA because we beat prices from all major stores and small stores. At Dixie Electronics, our motto is we sell quality and deliver confidence.
Dixie Electronics and Appliances, 5120 Dixie Road, Unit 11, Mississauga. Phone number 905-625-5900.
Are you looking for a different type of realtor? Meet Sohail Khan, broker owner of Century 21 Innovative Realty Inc. You don't need to know a lot about real estate, but you do need to know Sohail Khan, who knows a whole lot about real estate. He knows contracts, negotiations, research, he knows the market, and he really knows the area. When it comes to real estate buying or selling, Sohail Khan is a know-it-all. Get to know Sohail Khan, 416-822-0305 or at sohailkhan.ca. Experience excellence.
Life is precious, and health is the greatest gift. The best investment you can ever make is in your own health and life. Take steps now for your health and life concerns, which includes drug and dental insurance, travel insurance, critical illness, disability income insurance, and super visa insurance. We also provide life insurance, RESP, RRSP, and segregated funds.
To make the informed decision, contact Babar Chughtai, your health benefit advisor at 416-816-9210. It's 416-816-9210.
Was your family or business prepared for this financial crisis? Want to learn how I prepare my clients with the essential financial planning pyramid for any financial crisis come their way? Hello, this is Zahid Sayed from Roj Financial. For your complimentary Zoom or Skype meeting, call my office at 905-624-0008 or visit aroojfinancial.com.
Buying or selling a residential or commercial property is one of the biggest financial decisions most people will make in their life. The real estate lawyers at Alam Law Chambers will guide you through the complete real estate laws to ensure your transaction completes on time and your dreams come true. Reliable and affordable. Alam Law.
If you are looking for a reliable, professional, and affordable travel agency in your town, then your search is over. Global Travel and Tours is your personal travel partner. Our dedicated staff at Mississauga, Jeddah, and Islamabad is always ready to make your trip hassle-free, memorable, and cost-effective. We will assist you with hotel reservations, the transportation, visa assistance, and travel insurance. We are the #1 pilgrimage specialist for Hajj, Umrah, as well as ziyarats to Iran and Iraq. Global Travel and Tours is a one-stop solution for your travel, immigration, and Forex needs. We are IATA approved agents and an authorized Umrah agent. To book your holiday or Umrah package, please give us a call right now at 1-877-275-3555. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hi, I'm Brian Crombie, and we're going to be talking on the Brian Crombie Show. We're going to be talking about politics, arts, business, and social issues on the Brian Crombie Show on Canada One TV. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Show on Canada One TV. I'm chatting here with Nikki Clarke, who is a community activist. We've been talking about Black History Month. But Nikki, maybe we can change gears for a bit.
Sure.
You were kind enough to have me on your show. And,
Thank you.
And your show really was, I think, an opportunity to bring in sort of inspiring stories to the masses of people that you ran into in your life. Why did you start doing this?
That's an excellent question. I actually wanted to be a talk show host when I saw Oprah on TV. I was in college in Montreal and I saw her in 1987, so I'm dating myself. And I said, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I made up my mind and I told my strict disciplinarian academic Jamaican parents, I want to be a talk show host, and it didn't go over too well. So they said, no, choose a safe profession, and I became a teacher and happily taught for many years. But I had that burning passion to go back into media, and the voice to start the show got louder and louder in 2008. I took a leap of faith and I left teaching college at Sheridan College in Brampton and started the show. And the idea was to invite people from all walks of life to come and share their heart stories.
Yep.
I wasn't seeing that reflected on TV. I saw a lot of fluff, and I wanted something that that really invited people to take off their masks and to show a vulnerable side, because I believe there's strength in vulnerability, and so that they could not only heal from some of the stories that, or some of the experiences they had gone through, but people on the other end receiving this information could be healed. And not feel disconnected in such a busy place like Toronto. So that's what happened. I was terrified the first episode because I didn't know how it was going to be received. Yeah. I had two very hard-hitting interviews. One was a cancer survivor and the other one was a domestic violence survivor. And they were just brilliant women who made it but had to go through that pivotal moment in their life to get there. But when the stories were released, I realized that it was meeting a community need. People liked what was happening, and it evolved into something so beautiful. So 11 years later, the show is still going strong. 11 years later. It'll soon be 12 in the next few months, and 12 years. And the show has won awards, and I've had people like yourself come on and really, you know, take that chance to reveal what they're doing, reveal their passions, and really help people. And I could not be more pleased how this started. Like I said, I had no clue what it was going to be, only knew that I had to start it somehow. And
if people want to watch it, how do they watch it?
They can go to the NikkiClarkeNetwork.com. It's available online.
Okay.
So just type in. We've got hundreds and hundreds of episodes, and not only celebrities. We've had some people like yourself, celebrities, come on, but we've had just heroes and sheroes in the community who may not be famous, but are really
Heroes
doing
and sheroes. I like that.
who are just really, you know, making incredible impacts in people's lives. So we really wanted to profile them. And
awesome. And you've also been preaching in churches.
I have.
Tell me about that.
I'm an ordained lay pastor. I became ordained about 3 years ago, and I've had the calling for a long time. My father's a retired Anglican priest.
Oh, really?
And I guess it's something that may be in the DNA, but so, you know, God has been calling me, but I've been letting it go to voicemail, so to speak. So I'm like, okay, I can't stop avoiding this, and I'm so glad that I answered the call. It's a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to serve Him.
I'd love to come hear you preach sometime.
And change people's lives. Thank you so much. So
I don't know if you know it, but I've actually preached sermons in 3 different churches.
Really?
I have.
Oh, so we have something in common. Awesome. So yeah, so just going out and just sharing good words of encouragement. I think people need to hear that, and to go to biblical references to get that source.
So you've been a teacher.
Yes.
You've been a talk show host. You've been a politician. You've been now running a community organization in the beaches.
Yes.
Like, that's a pretty varied career.
It is.
Anything I missed?
Well, a singer, songwriter, but
singer-songwriter on top of that.
On top of that, but I'm just grateful for having the energy that I have.
So what's the future for Nikki Clarke?
The future for me.
What's the dream?
The dream is to continue my walk with God, and to broaden the ministry. And I believe I will be going back into politics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me about that?
I think probably in the next maybe 2 to 4 years, I'll be going back, maybe in the municipal level, and seeing what I can do with my leadership ability to change lives for the better.
Well, I got to tell you, I've done a couple of interviews of people from Malton area, which is an area that you ran both federally and provincially.
Yes.
And I got educated about some of the crime statistics from that area. You know, the statistics in regards to the percentage of our penitentiary population that is either black and or indigenous are scary.
Yes.
You know, I remember a speech that Barack Obama made at one point in time, the former president of the United States, in regards to the percentage of the prison population in the United States that was black American, African American, and it was astounding. And you know, whether it's a result of racialized policing or people in gangs, or as he talked about, and this individual I interviewed talked about fatherless families, or all 3 of those, and other issues. It's something we got to address. And so if you're going to do anything in regards to that, I would really encourage you and congratulate you, because it's a big problem we have.
It is. It is. There are many needs in the community, and definitely we find that children are raising themselves, and they're affiliating with organizations and people that are not really serving them in any capacity of good. When I was campaigning in Malton in September 13th, I was actually just 2 blocks away when the violence erupted on that street in Malton, and it's still a very traumatic experience for so many people. When I go to Malton, I talk to them, they're still shaken. I went back to the area after the shooting, and I didn't know what to do, but I just knew that I had to be there. I had to be present, and I spoke to some of the families, and they were either in the midst of it or they came shortly after, but just being on that street, it still really shook them up. I went to one family, and they were all sitting on the porch, and I saw a young lady. She was 18 years old, and she was in a catatonic state, just staring straight ahead. She didn't even see me. And I asked her mother what happened, and she told me that that they went to the young man, Jonathan, who was killed. They went to help him and resuscitate him. The mother was a nurse at Sick Kids, and she was learning to become a medic at college, and he passed away in her arms.
Oh, really?
So she was kind of reliving the moment as we stood there and she sat. So there's a lot that has to be done, not only in Malton but every part of Toronto, because the gun violence is out of control, and the type of guns that they have, it was like submachine guns, army type military kind of rifles. What are they doing in the hands of teenagers?
Yeah.
And we understand that the assailants were under 18 years old.
But what is it? It's gangs. Is it drugs still?
Gangs, drugs. So it's a combination of many layers of why this is happening.
And what's the solution?
Well, I believe it's a very complicated situation, but what I can do immediately is to call on people who are activists in the community, who are frontline, who can be mentors to youth, and to redirect them into positive. They need jobs.
Yeah.
28% of the youth in Malton are unemployed.
28%.
About 28%. It's high, and it's growing. So we need opportunities for them for jobs. We need positive role models, as you were alluding to with the absentee parent.
Yep.
So we need to have more of that, and we need resources in Malton for facilities, for safety, for more police patrolling, and that all means money, and it means human power.
Jobs. How do we get more jobs?
Well, I believe that the jobs can come into Malton if we can have more traffic there. We have an airport in the riding of Mississauga Malton, and I believe in the next 2 years there are about 400 to 500 positions that are going to be available with the expansion of the airport. So there are opportunities there, and there just needs to be more investment from the federal and the provincial government to come in and to pour a little life into
Nikki
Mississauga
Clarke,
Malton.
I've known you for a bunch of years now. I knew you were having a huge impact on people's positive attitudes with your show.
Thank you.
I was very encouraged with your involvement in politics, because I thought you were a brave new face and you had a great message to deliver. I did not know about either your religious involvement or your Black history involvement, and so that's new things that I found out about you today. But the most encouraging thing that I've learned is your interest in this issue in regards to making a difference with people's lives in Malton, particularly our Black youth, because I think it's a major issue. The percentage of our penitentiary population that is either Black or Indigenous versus the regular rest of society is way out of proportion, and we need to do something. And it's something that I think you can make a big difference in. So thank you very much for doing that and for joining us tonight on the Brian Crombie Show.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Brian.
Well, that's our show for tonight with Nikki Clarke. And I got to tell you, I think this is one of the major issues we've got. Guns, violence, youth unemployment in Peel, particularly in the Malton area. Peel is a big issue, and Nikki is one of the people addressing it.
And human trafficking.
And human trafficking. Hopefully you'll help us. Good night.